All right, so on your library guide, you have a tab called Finding Sources, and we're going to look at a couple different websites I want to be sure to point out to you. So under Country Profile Resources, you'll find one that says United Nations Human Development Reports, 2018 Statistical Update. And I really like this website from the UN. It's a nice sort of profile collection. So if you click on country profiles, they use these things called global human development indicators, which are a couple of like key data points that they've collected from each country. So I'm going to click on Egypt, for instance. And you will see they have some data that's available here. A lot of it talks about typical aspects of life, health, education, income. I would definitely encourage you to click on each of these categories and kind of look at some of these statistics, because it really can kind of show some interesting things. I find a lot of the gender statistics to be really interesting. Let's see. Demography. So total population in millions is 98.4. Median age, couple different age breakdowns. Urban population versus rural population. Socioeconomic sustainability is really interesting. Okay, so lots of basic things here that you might be interested in if you are researching a particular country. So I would definitely encourage you to use these human development reports. I'm going to go back a couple pages to your library guide. And there's lots more available through the UN. This is just one that I've chosen. They also have Freedom House resources, which this was really helpful for some students last semester. I believe they give like scores to each country based on some key indicators. You can read a little bit about it here. Let's see if I can find the, here, countries up at the top. They also have it in map form. So if you click on particular country, let's try Angola. They have given them a freedom score. So for Angola, it's a 32, which is considered not free. It is based on political rights, civil liberties, things like that. And if you go down, you will see like a nice sort of summary of the political situation, things that have been happening recently, how their elections work is really interesting to compare between countries. So this goes on and on for quite a while, kind of explaining their government and how it functions or doesn't function, and some things that you might be interested in. If you're further interested in the methods that they use, clicking See the Methodology will kind of explain it a little bit. And this is one that Dr. Broche pointed out to me last semester, and I just found it to be really interesting, and I think that it would be worth your time to explore. You can also click Explore the Map and kind of look at it on a more holistic level. Internet freedom is a really interesting one as well, to compare the overall freedom, global freedom status versus internet freedom status. Some of the results may surprise you. Democracy status. Okay, you can kind of break that down. So that's something that you might be interested in exploring. I highly, highly recommend that one. I want to point out one resource that I would really encourage you to kind of dig into and explore on your own. It's over here on the left under Helpful Websites. It's the University of Pittsburgh. A librarian there who works with African Studies created this beautiful library guide that has a lot of really cool information and links. She actually divides up the continent into geographic locations. She talks about a couple of NGOs and IGOs that you might be interested in, all kinds of things. Some of this stuff is specific to University of Pittsburgh students. A lot of it is freely available though, so I highly encourage you to look through this. Particularly the statistical web links have some really valuable information. A lot of it is, again, like I said, freely available. These UN statistical databases are really great. I cannot recommend this particular guide highly enough. If you have research questions, though, I want you to contact me, not the folks at Pitt, because then I can help you look in UNCG specific resources. But like I said, a lot of these are completely free, available online. This librarian has just sort of compiled them in this really nice, organized way that I like. Many more resources exist than we would ever have time to talk about, so I want you to take some time on this Finding Sources tab to dig through them a little bit. And I'm going to have you, as part of this session, I'm going to have you watch a video on Academic Search Complete and kind of explain what that means. And once you've watched that video, using these other databases that I've recommended here should be a lot easier. So be sure that you watch that video. It is linked in these instructions for this information literacy presentation. A couple other things to show you. Tutorials. There are some videos here that might be helpful to you. Finding articles using citations. So what do you do when all you have is the citation information? How do you look that up? That video covers that. You have the book catalog video, which you should have already watched by now, but if you need it, it's linked here. And then also we have this nice sort of click-through tutorial of research basics. Computer's freezing up again, 1 second. You can just sort of flip through the different pages here. There's nothing really to turn in, but they do have these quick check questions, so you can, make sure that you've understood correctly and click check, and it will give you your results. And then in our next session, we're going to get a little bit more into literature reviews, talking about some more specific searching. So the quiz for this particular presentation is going to ask you to do some searching. I just want you to kind of make up a research topic related to African political systems. It might just be something as simple as searching for a country name or searching for a particular politician's name that you know of, just kind of getting familiar with that. So the quiz is actually due, I believe it's October 19th. I would encourage you to complete it before that, because that way, if there are questions that are coming up, you can have those answered before our next sort of library information literacy session. I would really encourage you to go ahead and do them as I'm releasing them, because you will just be a little bit more prepared, a little bit more comfortable in that way. So I'm going to stop this video. Please be sure you follow the instructions on Canvas, and I will see you soon.